Contracts for difference are one of the fastest growing segments of Australia's financial markets. They offer the opportunity for huge profits but also huge losses. And a row has broken out with the CFD industry about the best way to protect investors' money. Andrew Robertson reports.
I think the focus needs to be on what's best for the retail client.
The client deserves to have their money fully protected.
They may be saying the same thing, but that's as close as Matthew Murphy and Andrew Merry get about how the contract for difference market should operate in Australia. Matthew Murphy claims Andrew Merry and his colleagues at the Australian CFD Forum are trying to close him down. Andrew Merry says Matthew Murphy's FP Markets and companies like it need to lift their game.
The client deserves to have a voice which is going to portray the best message in terms of the way we govern ourselves.
Contracts for difference are what's known as an over-the-counter derivative, and they're one of the fastest growing sectors of the Australian financial markets. In simple terms, a CFD is a bet that a stock or a market will go up or down over a defined period of time. If you bet right, you receive the difference between the starting point and the finish point. If you get it wrong, you pay the difference. That sounds simple enough, but the problem with contracts for difference is that they come with significant risks. CFDs are very highly geared, which means for an investment of a few $100s, if you lose, you could end up with a liability of many thousands of dollars. The collapse of MF Global and the freezing of Australian accounts containing around $300 million has put the Australian CFD industry under the microscope of regulators, and that's where the industry has divided. A Treasury discussion paper on over-the-counter derivative transactions recommends that the use of client money for hedging be either restricted or banned. For companies like FP Markets, which adopts what's known as a direct market access model, using client money for hedging is a key strategy for protecting against losses.
If you cannot hedge your client orders, you therefore need them to lose money to make money.
Which occurs when CFD firms take the other side of their clients' transactions in a model known as the market maker, used by members of the Australian CFD Forum. For CFD Forum spokesman Andrew Merry, the issue is not about what type of model a CFD provider uses, but about keeping client money safe.
We feel that companies in this space, especially given the uncertainty of the times, companies should be sufficiently capitalised in order to be able to fund their operational costs and their hedging costs through their own means and not use client money.
Brisbane-based Anthony Fernando is a victim of the collapse of MF Global, with hundreds of thousands of dollars still tied up with the company's administrators. He believes he'd have his money back by now if Treasury's proposed ban on the use of client money was in place.
We were all under the impression that our money was in a segregated account, but we soon found out that MF Global were using it for margining and hedging and all that sort of stuff, so a lot of the money got stuck with people like Deutsche Bank.
The government is considering industry feedback on the Treasury discussion paper before deciding the best way to try to protect client money when a company like MF Global collapses.